That Vice President Kashmir advised the now released miners earlier detained for their role in last August's protest to turn a new leaf and build responsible futures. Addressing the miners at the State House Abuja yesterday, Shatima argued that President Bola Tinubu's decision, made on humanitarian grounds despite evidence of wrongdoing, was an opportunity for personal reform. He encouraged them not to let themselves be drawn into violence or actions that could harm public and private property, noting that the protest had resulted in a 300 billion naira economic loss. Shatima said the president instructed the release of the suspects on humanitarian grounds despite incontrovertible digital video and photographic evidence of the perpetration and actions, some of which were uploaded by the actors themselves. And now to legislative matters. The Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, that of Science, Technology and Innovation, Uche Nnaji, and Budget and Economic Planning, Atiku Bagudu, are some of the high-profile government functionaries expected to appear before the House of Representatives Committee on Renewable Energy today. The committee, chaired by the member representing Ogbaru Federal Constituency, Anambra State, Afam Ogene, is investigating the utilization of over $2 billion investment and grants for the development of renewable energy sources in Nigeria from 2015 till date. The committee argued last week that despite the huge grants and investments in the sector, the power supply in the country has continued to worsen. Scheduled for today, the 5th, and tomorrow, the 6th of November 2024, the investigative hearing follows the mandate given to the committee on the 6th of June 2024 to investigate ministries, departments and agencies involved in investment, procurement and receipt of grants for renewable energy sector development. Away from that, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tarid Abiodun Lagbaja, is dead. This was announced by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Nanuga, on X earlier today. According to the statement, President Bola Tinubu regrets to announce the passing of the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tarid Abiodun Lagbaja, who passed away last night in Lagos after a period of illness at age 56. Throughout his service, Lieutenant General Lagbaja demonstrated exceptional leadership and commitment, serving as a platoon commander in the 93 Battalion and the 72 Special Forces Battalion. He also played pivotal roles in numerous internal security operations, including Operation Zaki in Benue State, Lafia Dole in Borno State, Udoka in southeast Nigeria, and Operation Forest Sanity across Kaduna and Niger states. Moving on, following the recent remand and subsequent arraignment of some miners by the Nigeria Police Force, the Inspector General of Police, Dr. Olukayode Egbetokun, has directed a full investigation into the care and welfare of detainees while in detention. This was contained in a statement made available to newsmen by the Force Public Relations Officer, ACP Olumuyiwa Adejobi. According to the statement, the IGP gave the directive upon receiving the investigative report on the incident yesterday while in Algiers, Algeria, for the African Union Mechanism for Police Cooperation Committee meeting. He vowed to thoroughly examine it and take necessary actions to address any procedural lapses or concerns. In another development, a large crowd of activists flooded Abuja's 3-arm zone yesterday, demanding sweeping reforms in the oil sector. Organized by the APC Solidarity and Development Forum and comprising youth and civil society organizations, The protesters expressed frustration over soaring fuel prices, persistent fuel scarcity, and the intensifying economic hardship affecting Nigerians. Speaking to journalists during the protest held near the National Assembly complex, group leaders Kabir Matazu and Daniel C. Momo described the ongoing fuel crisis as a reflection of systemic failures within the industry rather. In a letter addressed to the Senate President Godswill Akpabio and the Speaker of the House of Representatives Tajuddin Abbas, they argued that despite repeated assurances from authorities, shortages and high prices continue to persist, impacting citizens and eroding public trust in the government's management of oil resources. The protesters highlighted the lack of operational local refineries despite a $4 billion government investment as a significant oversight and management failure. They contended that the government's inaction not only undermines the administration's renewed whip agenda, but also underscores the need for a leadership change focused on accountability. You're listening to Global News on Memories 96.5 FM. We bring you more reports after the break. Do stay with us. Welcome back and thank you for staying tuned to Global News on Memories 96.5 FM. And now to the rest of the news. On the foreign scene, South Africa and Britain have agreed to boost trade and defense cooperation, the two countries' foreign ministers said after meeting yesterday. South Africa is already Britain's biggest trading partner on the African continent, and Britain is among the top 5 destinations for South African exports, which include precious metals, cars, and agricultural products. According to South African Revenue Service data, bilateral trade between the two countries totaled about $7.62 billion last year. British Foreign Secretary David Lammy, speaking alongside his South African counterpart Ronald Lamola, said they are committed to a UK-South Africa growth plan that will drive economic development and deepen trade and investment ties. Lamola said ahead of the meeting that the country's trade and investment relationship had stagnated due to the COVID-19 pandemic and other challenges, and it needed a reset. In the United States of America, Republican Donald Trump has claimed victory in the 2024 presidential election after Fox News projected that he had defeated Democrat Kamala Harris, which would cap a stunning political comeback 4 years after he left the White House. He also spent several minutes praising Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, who pumped some $120 million into backing Trump's campaign, adding that he will appoint Musk to lead a government efficiency commission. Other news outlets had yet to call the race Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia, and holding leads in the other 4, according to Edison Research. Harris did not speak to her spokesman, briefly addressed were outplayed for most of the first half and should have trailed by more than Phil Foden's early goal, but Gyökeres leveled before the break. City were caught cold at the start of the second period as Maximiliano Araujo finished a flowing move straight from the kickoff before Gyökeres put Sporting further ahead minutes later from the penalty spot. Erling Haaland had the chance to drag City back into the game, but struck the crossbar with a penalty before Gyökeres wrapped it up for the host with another spot kick to send the crowd into raptures. Amorim, who will take over as Manchester United manager on the 11th of November, leaves Sporting in a fantastic position in the Champions League group phase with 10 points from 4 games. And that's global news on Memories 96.5 FM. Before we go, let's take a recap of the top stories. Remember, we told you that President Bola Tinubu has extended his heartfelt congratulations to President Donald Trump on his re-election as the 47th President of the United States of America. We also told you that the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Abiodun Lagbaja, has died at the age of 56. We also told you that the Ministers of Agriculture and Food Security, Science, Technology and Innovation, and Budget and Economic Planning are expected to appear before the House of Representatives Committee on Renewable Energy today over the utilization of $2 billion investment and grants for the development of renewable energy sources in Nigeria from 2015 till date. On the foreign scene, Republican Donald Trump wins presidency in the United States. In sports, Sporting CP marked the final home game of coach Ruben Amorim's reign in stunning fashion as Victor Gyökeres' hat-trick saw them come from behind to thrash Manchester City 4-1 yesterday. The news this afternoon was edited by Nyakno Albert and assisted by the production team. For views regarding our news or coverage of your newsworthy event, you can reach us on email via newsroom@memoriesmediang.com or call our newsroom hotline on 0909 000 0581. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Memories965FM. And now let's take you down memory lane. On this day in 1999, Australians rejected a referendum to become a republic with a president as its head. Now that's the news. Thank you for listening. I am Sharon Mandor. Good afternoon.